You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. 22 hours from right now, LSU and West Virginia will open up the Baton Rouge Super Regional. It'll be the 9th time that the new Alec Box Stadium has hosted Super Regional baseball. Tigers are 5-3 in the previous 8. Of course, we all remember the 3. Stony Brook in 2012, Coastal Carolina in 2016, Florida State in 2019. When you are a program that defines itself upon your successes not only in the postseason but in the College World Series, the shortcomings are memorable. You tend to remember the losses more than the wins. Not the national championship wins, but the regional, super regional, even wins in Omaha that are not the championship game. So LSU 2 wins away from the program's 20th appearance at the College World Series, and we know they will take on the 2 seed from the Clemson Regional, the West Virginia Mountaineers. Jay Johnson, when he met with reporters on Friday, a final tune-up, final workout, final media availability before the Mountaineers come in, gave a final thought on this weekend's opponent.
Great team, championship team. They have a identity in how they play. Good starters, a couple really good bullpen pieces, aggressive base running team on offense. Do a good job hitting with runners on base, runners in scoring position, and playing with a lot of confidence right now.
That they are. West Virginia is a team that won over 40 games. They are 44-14, and oddly played more road games than they did home games. West Virginia was 17-7 at home, 24-5 on the road this season. So going away from Morgantown is not something I think that is going to be jarring for this West Virginia team. As a matter of fact, their coach, Steve Sabins, when he met with reporters, was asked about being prepared for the atmosphere in Baton Rouge.
We're in an awesome situation going to LSU, and I was thankful we played at Clemson because I thought that environment at Clemson was loud and pretty ruckus, and you had those kids in the bullpen that were like touching our guys and warming up. It was a mess, but I thought as far as like environments, our home environment is so good now. The Clemson environment was great, so I think our guys will be prepared in that avenue.
Doug Kingsmore Stadium, the home of Clemson baseball, the capacity is 6,200. I think there might be 6,200 in the standing room only sections of the box this weekend. So it will be a bigger crowd. It will be the biggest crowd West Virginia sees all season. And there are some teams who get swallowed up by that. It happens. It has happened plenty. We saw it happen at Dallas Baptist. They played arguably their worst game of the season against LSU in that marble game of the regional. So sometimes that environment, that moment does envelop teams. West Virginia is a very veteran team, and it is fair to note that there are times where teams come in and they are completely unmoved by it. I mean, Stony Brook played in front of friends and family all year. They came down here and were unmoved by the pageantry, the tradition, the crowd size, the noise, all of it. They were awesome and flat outplayed LSU throughout the weekend. LSU's only win was a miracle odd game with different weather delays and started and stopped and restarted, and you had Gosman start and then or finish game 1, get down or sit down for about 45 minutes, stay loose, and then start game 2. Anyway, the point is, it don't always happen that way. There's teams who come in and handle it just fine, but you'll know pretty quickly about West Virginia handling the environment at Alec Box Stadium. There's a lot of layers to this game. Of course, this weekend, the starting pitching is where you start. It's the old adage in baseball, you're only as good as that day's starting pitcher. And for LSU, the good news is they've got a 1-2 punch of Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. And I've said throughout the course of the year, and certainly as we've moved through this season, that I could make an argument that this is the best 1-2 punch LSU has ever had. I know that's hyperbolic. It feels hyperbolic with all of the talent that LSU's had. I mean, you've had Paul Skeens, you've had Ben McDonald, you've had Aaron Nola, you've had number 1 picks come through here. But I don't think you've ever had a 1-2 as dominant as these two have been this year, and Jay Johnson knows what he's got in those two.
The tangible thing to win in the postseason you need is pitching, and we certainly have that with those two and the rest of the staff. I have great confidence in this staff And those guys are winners. And it's just as much the type of competitor and person they are. And they just pair that with elite pitching skill. And it gives you a chance to win when they're on the mound. And you have to win this time of year to keep your season going. So it impacts it a lot. And, I love those guys and very thankful for them.
When you look at this weekend, LSU has not lost a home game behind Cade Anderson all year. They lost 2 games that Anderson started. They lost on the road at Auburn and on the road at Texas A&M. That's it. They've not lost a home game behind Cade Anderson. I don't think that starts on Saturday. They'll take on Griffin Kern, who West Virginia has lost 5 times when Kern starts. And it's not because Kern doesn't pitch well. It's because generally against another team's ace, you struggle to generate offense. And that really is the thing for this weekend that I'm looking at. Hard for me to imagine LSU losing behind Cade Anderson. The one thing to file away, remember, is at times this year Anderson has struggled giving up the long ball. Cade Anderson's given up 14 home runs. Next most on the team is 6. So that's the one thing that Cade Anderson, if he has one, it is one that he struggled with, it's giving up the long ball. And you'll say, Matt, well, great, West Virginia doesn't hit homers. And you're right. They've hit 55 on the entire season. By contrast, LSU in a quote-unquote down power year is at 97. But in June at the box, when the weather gets warm, the wind's blowing out, the balls fly. And maybe for a team like West Virginia, who normally plays on the road and in cold weather environments, those conditions are going to be more advantageous to elevating the baseball and getting it out of the park. So if Cade Anderson keeps the ball in the yard, I think LSU has no problem in game 1, and then all of the pressure falls on Anthony Ianson because nobody wants to see this go to a game 3 because we saw what happened last Sunday with the lowest RPI team in the field come to the box. You had that Sunday night game. Newt and Shores couldn't find the strike zone, and it was a mess. And then you forced a winner-take-all game on Monday. That's a very uncomfortable situation that LSU could find themselves in. The number 3 for both teams is a gigantic question, and Steve Sabins, the head coach of the Mountaineers, was asked how aggressive he'll be on the mound in this Super Regional.
This is essentially a 3-game series. So this is how we've played the entire season. So score does dictate pitching decisions, of course. But if you have a chance to win the game, in general, our philosophy has just been to be aggressive because we think our offense can score in bunches. And so you certainly don't want to ever give the team the feeling that you're going to play for tomorrow. So you have to keep going. You have to keep coming after people's throats. And the other team needs to feel that heat. And then great things can happen like it did in the regional.
It is a great point that he talked about how their offense can come in bunches, but how it comes is unconventionally. Hunt's got a great piece up at louisianasports.net right now. It's at the top of the homepage if you want to go read it. Remember, everything's always free at louisianasports.net. It's 3 things to watch with West Virginia at LSU. And one of the things he mentions is nothing given. And he talks about how West Virginia has orchestrated their crooked number innings. Like in the finale of the regional, they had a 6-run 4th, a 6-run 8th, and in those innings, Kentucky walked 2, hit 2, made an error in the 4th, and in the 8th, they walked 3 more. The bottom line is, in the 5 innings or in the regional where they put up crooked numbers, they had 3 errors, 5 hit batsmen, 6 walks. That's 14 free bases and only 3 extra base hits in their crooked numbers. You cannot give it to them. That's the hold your breath moment for LSU because when things have gone badly for LSU, walks have been the culprit. Do not walk them, do not hit them, make them swing the bat and earn it. If they do, tip your cap. They also don't strike out a bunch. So they put the ball in play, which means you've got to be elite defensively behind Cade Anderson and Anthony Ianson. Your defense has been great this year. You field .982. They got to be flawless this weekend. If LSU pitches behind their 2 great pitchers and plays defense behind them, then LSU should be able to generate enough offense this weekend to win it. I will remind you, I talked about Cade Anderson giving up 14 homers on the season. Griffin Kern, their ace, the guy who's going to go against Anderson on Saturday, has allowed 12 home runs. You will have opportunities Saturday for crooked numbers. If the weather's warm, the wind's blowing out, Tiger offense is going to elevate the baseball. Lord knows they love to hit the ball in the air. And a lot of them could leave the yard this weekend. That's how LSU could get off to a great start behind Cade Anderson. I think the Tigers got to do it in 2. Nobody wants to see this thing go to Monday where anything can happen. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.